We'll get into my latest mock draft coming up here in just a second, but today's show is sponsored by Sleep, one of our newest sponsors here at Chat Sports. Are you looking to improve your sleep at night? Maybe you're like me and you have a 9-month-old at home and you got to maximize your sleep. 8Sleep going to help you do that. Get $200 off right now at 8sleep.com/chatsports. We'll tell you all about their best product here in just a few moments. It's time to unveil my 13th Chicago Bears mock draft. My name is Harrison Graham, and listen, this features a trade down from number 1. You might have thought, 13, does that mean Caleb Williams with the number 1 pick? Not today. We're mixing it up. Unlucky 13 for Caleb in this one. What should the Bears do with the number 1 pick? What say you? Type K for keep it and draft Caleb or whoever? Or type T for trade the pick. Let me know in the comments, what should the Bears do with the number 1 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft? Da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm trading down, but only one spot to the Washington Commanders. So I get number 2. The Bears pick that they traded to Washington for Montez Sweat comes back, number 40 overall. I also get their first-round pick next year. Which, that's a pretty penny. But you know what? If you are the Chicago Bears and you feel good about who you want at number 1, you better take a haul if you're going to trade down. So that's kind of my thinking here. And Drake Maye, come on down. Roley loves Drake Maye so much, he put round 1, pick number 1 instead of pick number 2. And I don't blame Roley. He's a North Carolina guy. It's possible that was my mistake, but I'm blaming Roley on this one. He just said it's on him. Kudos to him. So number 2 pick, but we're going to keep this rolling here. Getting back to what I was saying a second, though, in all seriousness, hypothetically, what if Ryan Poles doesn't see a big gap between Caleb Williams and Drake Maye or even Jaden Daniels? Or what if he likes Drake Maye more and the Washington Commanders call up and say, hey, we want to bring Caleb Williams back to D.C. What's it going to cost? And if you're Ryan Poles, you're telling Washington, he's our pick. That's who we're taking. And you make them stare down the barrel and see how much they're willing to give up. You move down a spot for their first next year, and you get a top 40 pick back this year, and you still get the quarterback you want. Again, in this scenario, yeah, that'd be a pretty good job by Ryan Poles. You compare these two quarterbacks, and I do think they are the top 2. I know Jaden Daniels is getting some hype, and I like him, but I do think these two stand out. You know, they're very close the last 2 years in a lot of categories at the end of the day. I personally like Caleb a little more, but the gap isn't huge. It isn't. And there are some things that favor Drake. He's a little bit bigger. I think he probably throws the ball between the hashes a little bit better. So it's not like if you ended up with Drake Maye, you end up with a bad prospect. I just think the floor and the ceiling of Caleb is probably just a tick higher. But both guys are very, very good. I wanted to mix things up on this mock draft today and got a pretty good trade to do that. So that's what we went with. And hey, this is why you subscribe, because I'm not doing the exact same mock draft every time. We're going to cover every single scenario between now and April. We got Bears draft targets with the number 9 pick coming up as well. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notifications. You're not going to miss out on any of it. YouTube.com/Bears Now. Let's keep this thing rolling. Okay. Mock draft 13.0. Let's go Rome Odunze, number 9 overall. And this is kind of the ideal scenario, right? Like if you are going to go quarterback at 1, or in this case 2, one of those receivers getting to 9, or I'll throw Brock Bowers in there. That's the ideal combo, right? Because you need another weapon for whoever the quarterback's going to be. It can't just be DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. Rome Odunze is a stud. Daniel Jeremiah the other day said he's his favorite player in this class, and the gap between him and Marvin Harrison isn't much, if anything. He likes Odunze better than Malik Neighbors. Now, I personally like Neighbors a little bit more, but Odunze's great. He can play through contact. I've loved that he averaged almost 19 yards per catch on 92 catches. I mean, that's otherworldly at the end of the day. He's a touchdown menace as well. I'm a big fan of Rome Odunze's, and I think he could be someone that comes in here and makes a great impact for the Chicago Bears. To keep it rolling here, since you got that second-round pick back, how about Chop Robinson, the edge out of Penn State, who I've seen him go anywhere from the 20s to like mid-second round. He's been sliding a little bit for whatever reason. I think the pre-draft process will be critical for him, but I just look at his PFF numbers from last year, and those were fantastic, right? The overall, terrific. Pass rush, awesome. Good against the run. Pass rush win percentage, almost 21%. So what that means is 1 out of every 5 snaps, he is pressuring the quarterback. Sacks, 1 out of every pass plays, I should say. Had 4 sacks. I think that's probably what's dinging him a little bit, is he didn't always finish plays at Penn State, and obviously the elite ones not only get consistent pressure, but they also bring the quarterback down. But I think that can come, especially if he's not asked to be like your top guy, right? Like, you bring him in here, and at best, he's going to be your second pass rusher opposite of Montez Sweat, who you brought in at the trade deadline last year. We'll see if Yannick Ngakoue re-signs. Rasheem Green's a free agent as well. DeMarcus Walker's there. He kind of moves around. He plays inside. He plays out. I'll say this. I expect edge to be a priority this offseason, whether it's in free agency, whether it's in the draft. And if you don't get one at number 9, like a Dallas Turner or a Jared Verse, if you get a second-round pick and Chop Robinson is there, that almost feels like a no-brainer at the end of the day. Today's show is sponsored by 8 Sleep. You're looking to sleep better at night. If you're having trouble doing so, 8 Sleep, the high-tech solution to your age-old sleeping issues, are going away with 8 Sleep. Their Pod 3 cover slips right over your mattress, bringing heating and cooling tech that keeps you comfortable and sleeping deeper for a better, more restful night of sleep. I picked up my Pod 3 cover from 8 Sleep a couple of months ago, and I've never slept better. Sleep science shows that in order to sleep our best, our body temperature needs to drop in the early and middle part of sleep and rise in the morning. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs. The cover can be added to any bed like a fitted sheet and allows you and your partner to cool or warm your side of the bed by as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees. That's a big range there. Not only does it keep you at the perfect temperature all night, the pod also tracks your sleep and health metrics. On average, users see their sleep quality improve by 32% after just 1 month on the pod. So start the new year off right by improving your sleep with 8 Sleep's Pod 3. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports. That's going to get you $200 off. 8sleep.com/chatsports, $200 off. I don't know about you. Maybe you got a 9-month-old at home as well. You need your sleep. Get better sleep with 8 Sleep. 8sleep.com/chatsports gets $200 off today. Okay, let's keep it rolling here. Round 3, pick 75, Christian Haynes, the guard out of UConn. I think he's a sleeper in this draft. 3-year starter on the interior, which I like. I wonder if he'll consider trying to play some center in the pre-draft process. Now, to be clear, I want someone who's played center, not like some converter to the center position, because we've been down that road with the Cody Whitehairs, the James Daniels, etc. But this guy has been really consistent at UConn, and I think adding competition at guard would be a good thing. Obviously, Tevin Jenkins is a clear starter at left guard, but he has an injury history. Chances are he'll miss some time. And Nate Davis, I thought played well in the middle part of the year, but he started slow due to not practicing much because he had the family death. And then I didn't think he ended the year that well. You know, you may want to turn up the heat at that position just a little bit this offseason. And ideally, Davis wins that job. You kind of redshirt Christian Haynes here, and then he could be a starter in 2025 because I think he does have starting potential. So I think adding depth, adding competition there makes some sense. All right, day 3 picks here. I love this one. Bucky Irving. You want to talk about speed, baby. Bucky Irving is a home run hitter at the running back position. Minnesota, transferred to Oregon the last couple of years. Super productive, averaged over 6 yards per carry this year. I like his ability to catch the football as well, had 13 total touchdowns. And again, this kid can absolutely fly. I mean, he is just a burner in the open field. And the Bears have not had that, man, really since Tariq Cohen. And even Cohen, like, he was more like very quick than just flat out super fast. Like, don't get me wrong, he was very fast. But like, you think of recent backs, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert has some speed, but not to this level. You know, you have a guy like Jordan Howard, who was more of a bruiser. Like, they haven't had an electric straight light runner like this in a while. Bucky Irving could provide that. I'm definitely intrigued by him in the middle of this draft. Another fourth-round pick. Remember, they have the Eagles' fourth-round pick as well. Mohamed Kamara. Remember the name. We've mocked him a couple times since these mock drafts started. He was just one of the best players in the Mountain West this year. Period. End of story. He had 13 sacks. He completely rattled Shedeur Sanders when they played Colorado. I know the Buffaloes rallied late in that game, but he was in the backfield all night in that game. He's a bit of a tweener, which is why he's a smaller school prospect, but day 3 pass rusher, 4th, 5th round, guy's a worker. I expect the reviews to be raving out of him during the pre-draft process. I wouldn't be shocked if he snuck into day 2 in the 3rd round, but I think the 4th round's probably the sweet spot, and adding another rotation rusher, I think, could be valuable here. And then one more selection here, Drake Nugent, the center out of Michigan. No 6th and 7th round picks as of now for Chicago. Developmental center. I don't think this is like this is your Lucas Patrick, Cody Whitehair replacement. This is probably a backup who you develop. In this scenario, you're signing a center in free agency, but I think could be a starter down the road, Drake Nugent. And what I like is he was the center on a great offensive line that just won the national championship. That matters for something. So you bring him in here, develop him, put on some weight, and maybe he has starting potential down the road. All right, so to recap, mock draft 13.0, we traded down from 1 to 2, selected Drake Maye, picked up the 40th pick, which turned into Chop Robinson in a first next year. Got Rome Odunze at 9. I just mentioned Robinson in round 2. Christian Haynes, the guard out of UConn, in round 3. Then to wrap things up, Bucky Irving, the Oregon running back, in the 4th round. You also add Mohamed Kamara, the edge out of Colorado State, in the 4th. And then Drake Nugent, the center out of Michigan, with the 5th round selection. Grade today's mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. Drop your letter grade down in the comments below. Let me know how we did on today's show. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got more Chicago Bears mock drafts coming up. We're already 13 deep. I think we're going to approach something like 30 by the time the draft gets here. So plenty more to come. We'll react to your mock drafts, to national media members' mock drafts, and draft targets, trade ideas. We cover it all. YouTube.com/BearsNow. We are the place for you.